The BJP sounds the bugle for the 2024 elections with the Modi roadshow in the national capital. Party chief JP Nadda says the BJP aims to win all state polls, focus on local blocks. Political tug-of-war breaks out over Law Minister Kiran Rijiju's letter to the Chief Justice seeking government representation in the collegium for appointing judges. Opposition says centre trying to browbeat the judiciary to fall in line. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal hits the streets against the Lieutenant Governor, accuses him of unconstitutionally blocking government work. Mayoral poll slated for 24 Jan. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra leads the Congress campaign in Karnataka to woo women voters, promises 2,000 rupees to every woman in a household if voted to power. A bribery scandal explodes in Karnataka. The chief of the contractor's body makes an explosive claim, says he paid 90 lakh rupees to BJP MLAs, releases audio tapes. Terrorists who killed 7 in Jammu and Kashmir's Rajouri, including 2 children, are caught on camera. Terrorists seen having dinner at a local resident's home in the area. Economic crisis deepens in Pakistan. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif admits it's shameful for a nuclear power to beg and ask for foreign loans. Pakistanis struggle as inflation skyrockets. And after the Golden Globe for the song Natu Natu, another global laurel for Rajmouli's RRR. Film wins Best Foreign Language Film at the Critics' Choice Awards in Los Angeles. Indian wicketkeeper batsman Rishabh Pant, who suffered a horrific car accident, tweets to his fans, says, "My surgery was a success, ready for challenges ahead." But tonight's top story, the battle lines are drawn in the big political battle for 2024. Prime Minister Modi's election machine has begun rolling today with a roadshow in the heart of Delhi shortly before taking part in the BJP's national executive that began today. Rahul Gandhi, meanwhile, is on his Punjab leg of the yatra before he enters Jammu later this week. His sister Priyanka Gandhi, in a way, kick-started the Congress's Karnataka campaign, promising each housewife in the state 2,000 rupees per month if the party is voted to power. With all netas now slowly but surely hitting the ground, the war for 2024 has officially kicked off. That's our top story tonight.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi hit the ground. Right before joining the crucial 2-day BJP National Executive Meet, the Prime Minister took out a roadshow in the national capital. While the roadshow itself was short, the messaging around it was loud and clear. The BJP is battle ready for 2024. The hoarding at the venue entrance reflected the BJP's poll plank, Hindutva, Nationalism and Vikas. A series, state elections this year, will set the momentum for the big finale in 2024.
Honorable the party president exhorted all the members of the national executive to be ready with full commitment to ensure that the BJP wins all the 9 assembly polls scheduled for 2023.
The BJP is finalizing its war strategy even as Congress leader Rahul Gandhi is nearing the end of his Kanyakumari to Kashmir Padyatra. The Congress, basking in the Bharat Jodo Yatra's supposed success, called Prime Minister Modi's roadshow a joke.
ये भारत जोड़ो यात्रा का असर है उन पर और आज कुछ 2-3 घंटे के लिए एक छोटा सा रोड शो प्रधानमंत्री ने निकाला है ये दिखाने के लिए कि वो अभी भी लोकप्रिय हैं।
कांग्रेस की हताशा ये बता रही है कि उनके पास और कुछ है ही नहीं। नरेंद्र मोदी जी से तुलना करने के लिए नरेंद्र मोदी जी जैसा सोच होना चाहिए, नरेंद्र मोदी जैसी राष्ट्रभक्ति होनी चाहिए।
while Rahul goes ahead with his yatra, which he says is aimed at uniting the country against hate. His sister Priyanka is canvassing for the Congress in the first big election this year, Karnataka.
Priyanka Gandhi Zindabad! Priyanka Gandhi ke! Jai Bugle!
Fresh from the success in Himachal Pradesh, the Congress leader promised 2,000 rupees per month to each woman head of household if her party wins in Karnataka.
Priyanka Gandhi Zindabad! Zindabad!
Any opposition hope for success in 2024, however, will depend on its unity. So far, they have shown no signs of coming together to take on Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The BJP claims 2024 is a done deal for Modi, who is eyeing a consecutive third term. Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's raise the big questions as the bugle is sounded for 2024 general elections. Is the BJP the clear front runner? Has the BJP put all its eggs at the moment in the Modi basket? Will the opposition unite to take on Mr. Modi ahead of the elections? Is the Congress best placed to lead the opposition in that battle? Is 2024 in the end once again Modi versus all? Sanjay Kumar is co-director Lokniti CSTS, one of the country's leading psephologists. Dr. Syed Zafar Islam is the BJP's national spokesperson. Dr. Shashi Panja, senior minister and national spokesperson of the Trinamool Congress, joining me. Syed Nasir Hussain is member of parliament, Rajya Sabha and national spokesperson, Congress. Appreciate all of you joining us here on the news today. Let's come to you straight, Syed Zafar Islam. The national executive of the BJP seems to have decided that the face, the mascot, the driving energy of your campaign will be Mr. Modi, whether it's a state election or a general election. Am I right in saying that you have put all your eggs in the Modi basket?
Well, let me tell you a few things which is very, very important to answer your questions. First of all, yes, Mr. Modi, the Honorable Prime Minister, is a brand ambassador for not only for India but also for Bharatiya Janata Party. He is our supreme leader, and he is a leader who is a charismatic leader. He has mass appeal. People admire him. There's a lot of admiration among people of this great country, and his popularity is not only increasing every day, but he is far ahead of all the leaders put together in one basket. So yes, we have Mr. Modi as who is the Prime Minister of this country, but also as our supreme leader who will lead all elections, because he's been admired by the people of this great country. But away from that, we have when you were talking about other people within the BJP, we have a huge bench strength. We have the Honorable Party President, we have the Honorable Home Minister, who both of them, and Honorable Raksha Mantri, all of them have a huge mass appeal. So BJP is all set to win not only 2024 election, but even beyond that they are comfortable because
Syed Zafar Islam, Syed Zafar Islam, the fact is you're naming all these other leaders, but the entire BJP focus in all campaigns, even in municipal elections, often is on Mr. Modi. I ask you this, do you see all these elections now as leadership contests? Are you all willing to fight these elections on issues? Or is this election going to be a personality contest where Mr. Modi will be projected as a larger-than-life figure?
No, you have to understand one thing, Rajdeep. Why Mr. Modi is popular among the people? Because he is somebody who has delivered. He is known as somebody, when he was the Chief Minister or even when he is the Prime Minister, he has always delivered to the people's expectations. That's why when we talk about Mr. Modi, we also talk about what we have delivered, as what he delivered as a Chief Minister, as a Prime Minister, and what the Bharatiya Janata Party has been able to deliver and garner support from the people. Because Bharatiya Janata Party is a party who believes in doing seva to the people, and Honorable Prime Minister has always admired the marginalized section of the society. He has always extended those people. He has always stood for those people, and he has always taken them along with him.
Okay.
So when the voters decide political party, he also see who is the leader of the political party. Undoubtedly, he is the most admired leader in the country. When you compare him with rest of the other leaders of other political
Mr. Zafar
parties,
Islam,
you see his
Mr.
huge
Zafar
gap,
Islam, let's not
and that
make
makes
this-
the difference.
Yeah, okay. You made your point. Let Nasir Hussain now reply. He must get equal time. Nasir Hussain, the BJP very clearly seems to have decided all eggs in the Modi basket. He's their face. They believe he's the person who can win them another general election and score a hat-trick. The Congress, Rahul Gandhi hitting the trail on the Bharat Jodo Yatra. Do you really believe at the end of the day, can the Congress offer a narrative that goes beyond Mr. Modi? What is the alternative? BJP is saying very clearly, it's Mr. Modi. He's our leader. He's the most trusted leader in the country. What is the Congress's narrative to counter that?
See, Rajdeep, I think elections in a democratic setup is all about ideology, is all about the vision for the country, is all about the policies, programs for the people of the country, schemes for the people of the country. Unfortunately, of late, what has happened in Gujarat and what is happening in the country is not the election on the basis of ideology and programs. People win elections by dividing, parties win election by dividing the people of our country, by speaking all that has not to be spoken during the elections, by jumla basi, by offering, promising moon, sun, moon and the sky to the people of the country and then not delivering. So the most important characteristic of the recent elections is 5 years, nothing is done. They come during the elections. There's no report card that is presented before the people of the country. Only thing that is spoken during the election is India, Pakistan, Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Hindu, majority, minority, issues that doesn't the issues that doesn't matter the people of the country. There is no debate.
No, but
on unemployment. There's no debate on poverty. There's no debate on security of the country.
According to Zafar Islam, don't forget the various welfare. The Modi model speaks also of welfare schemes. He claims that the various welfare schemes, for example, free ration to 80 crore people, the Ujjwala scheme, the Ayushman Bharat scheme, all of this has also built the Modi model. That it's not just about, as your party seems to claim, about Hindu versus Muslim. He's selling a dream, an aspirational India.
Rajdeep, I'm glad that the Bharatiya Janata Party and its spokesperson speak about giving free food to the poor of this country. They speak about Manrega. They speak about Ujjwala scheme. These are all the schemes which the Congress party spoke about. BJP, when it was in the opposition, while UPA was there from 2004 to 14, when Congress used to speak about these schemes, when Congress brought about Food Security Act in this country, when Congress brought about Manrega in this country, the very same person who used to be the chief minister at that time, who is prime minister now, he used to mock at this scheme. I'm glad they are speaking about this scheme. This is one. Two, despite all these schemes, despite all the welfare economics, despite all the good economics that this government is following, despite the halla gulla around being the 5th economy in the world. Now tell me, what is the unemployment level? Tell me whether 23 crores of people have not gone back below the poverty line in the last 7-8 years, which were put above poverty line during the UPA regime. Tell me that food products are not being taxed, GST is not being levied on that. Tell me petrol, diesel and gas rates have not gone up. Tell me, migrant workers from all over the country who went to those villages who are now banking on Manrega are still not able to find jobs back in the cities. Tell me MSME sector is not at the receiving end. See, everyone knows what is happening in this country. And also tell me whether the Chinese army has not come inside our land. They are not captured our land. They are not built bridges. They are not built officers. They are not built roads. They are not installed towers in our land. See, these are the issues that need to be discussed both within the parliament and outside the parliament. When
how is it then?
Within the parliament,
Okay.
the government is not ready to discuss these issues.
Okay, so you're saying the government is not ready to discuss the issues which you believe.
These are the issues.
Okay, you made your point.
My point. Radhir, my point. No, I'll just finish. Give me 10 seconds. My point is, elections in any modern democracy should be about the issues concerning the people of the country, should be about the security of the country, should be about the welfare, progress and development of the country, not about the divisive politics, not about emotional issues, not about those issues that are taken up only during the elections. We divide the people of the country, which doesn't unite the people of the country.
Okay, you made your point. Let me bring in Shashi Panja, because Shashi Panja, while the Congress and the BJP are already sounding the bugle for 2024 in very different ways, the Trinamool Congress is seen to represent, in a way, a third alternative, because you are not, in a way, identifying with the Congress at the moment, not joining their Bharat Jodo Yatra. At the same time, you speak an anti-BJP language. Is the opposition, are you very clear at the moment who is your prime enemy? As you go into 2024, what will parties, regional parties like yours do in the run-up?
Yes, definitely, the enemy is identified. It is the BJP. It is the fascism that they uphold. And definitely we would say, going by the trend and even by the national executive meeting of the BJP today, so as you termed it, they have put all the eggs in one basket, the Modi basket. Now, we have noticed over the past 2-3 years too, that in fact we have seen it in 2021 in West Bengal too. There is never a local leader presence of BJP. It is always Modi and Shah everywhere, in every kind of election all over the country. So if that is the projection and there is no local leader, then what we would say was that we are going to fight it, as our leader Mamata Banerjee has always said, that every party which is strong its own region, it need not be a regional party, it can be a national party, but it is strong in its state. And if we fight for every state, just like in 2021, the BJP, Modi, Shah almost thought that they would defeat us, they did. And that has been an energizing factor. So if every, like Tamil Nadu, if like Telangana, like Andhra and Bihar and every other state is strong.
So you're talking of statewide alliances, ma'am, but may I stop you to tell you that when Rahul Gandhi, when the Congress has invited you for the Bharat Jodo Yatra, apparently the Trinamool Congress doesn't intend to join the Yatra.
No, I'll tell you what, it is to appreciate the dominance and the popularity of every party which belongs to any particular region. You need to appreciate. We would also appreciate. We want that the Congress does well and wins in Karnataka. There are elections here in 2023. They must have to do well in Madhya Pradesh. They must have to do well in Chhattisgarh, where they feel they have a stronger presence. So if every party continues to coexist and have respect.
You didn't answer my question. Why haven't you joined the Bharat Jodo Yatra? If you believe the BJP is your prime enemy, if you believe that Congress is possibly the major force within the opposition, why haven't you joined the Bharat Jodo Yatra?
Bharat Jodo Yatra of Congress was also, in spirit, like what we uphold. And was it against BJP? They were saying that we are against hatred and we are for Indian unity, etc. So this is all the while Mamata Banerjee has been saying.
Why haven't you joined it then?
No, it can be their party program. I mean, we also have a party program now currently, Didi Surakha Kavach. That every political party has a right to have its own political programs, outreach programs. That was their outreach programs. There is no hassle with it. But Rajdeep, about BJP, you need to remember that look at the number of allies who have deserted them between 2014 to 2019, like PDP and TDP had deserted. Look after 2019, look at the number of allies, major allies which have walked out, like JTU or even SAD for that matter. So BJP cannot be defeated is now a myth. It has been shown in 2021 in West Bengal election that BJP machine, its victory machine, can be stopped.
Okay, you've made your point. You've made your point. You've spoken about statewide alliances you believe will be built against the BJP. But Sanjay Kumar, I want to put 5 X factors that in a way could influence what happens in the next 16 months. Number 1, what will slowing economic growth mean for people? How will the border row with China play out? Ram Mandir, will religious nationalism be a winning card? Will the opposition be able to really fight with a united leadership? Will statewide alliances of which Shashi Panja just now spoke of actually hold? Do you see, therefore, when I put these X factors also up, Sanjay Kumar, 2024 to be a done deal, or do you believe picture abhi baki hai?
Rajdeep, like we keep talking about in cricket, that the match is not over till the last ball is bowled. But we also know that if a very strong team is playing against a very weak team, even though we would tend to believe that the match is not over, but we know that the match is an uneven match. I think that's how 2024 election is heading for, in my opinion. Yes, I can't say that it's a done deal. But I know on one side we have a very strong team in the name of BJP. On the other side, we have a weak team. And this team is also, if we are talking in terms of our united opposition, that's not coming up. I don't see any possibility of opposition parties getting united day after day, month after month. Earlier, Arvind Kejriwal made almost an announcement that he's not going to have any tie-up with the Congress. Yesterday, Mayawati came out, held a press conference to say BSP is going to contest election alone. So you have been raising question to the Trinamool spokesperson in this show. And we are not getting an answer why they are not joining the Congress Bharat Jodo Yatra. So the point I am trying to say is that opposition unity seems to be a distant dream. And if that's not happening, I think it would be extremely, extremely difficult for any opposition party to challenge BJP in 2024. So in a way, you can say, if it is not a done deal, but I think I know the winner. We know the winner, which party is going to be ahead of all other parties in 2024.
So you're saying it's almost a question only of margin? Is that what you're saying? Whether the BJP crosses 300 on its own as it did in 2019, or whether it remains around 270, 260? Is that what you're saying the next 16 months is about?
Yes. Absolutely, Rajdeep. That's my short answer to the question, which I have tried to, move here and there. That it's only about the margin of victory. It's not about who is winning, which party is winning election.
That's significant coming from you, who's normally a very cautious cephalogist, to say, Professor Sanjay Kumar, saying that 2024 at the moment is not about who wins, but what is the margin. Before I come to you, Zafar Islam, Nasir Hussain, you should respond to that, because two things are coming out very clearly. A, not all the opposition parties, even the so-called like-minded parties like TMC, are willing to accept the Congress's leadership. And B, cephalologists are also saying that it is not a question of who wins, but by what margin. The BJP at the moment is very far ahead in terms of its organization, in terms of its plan, strategy, compared to the Congress party, which is still relying in a way on building up the Gandhis.
Rajdeep, I would like to make 3-4 quick points here. Point number 1, it is always advantage the party that is there in power. That happens everywhere. Point number 1. Point number 2 about the alliances. BJP in power has lost alliance partners like JDU, Shiv Sena, Akali Dal, RSLP. TRS, BJD, YSRCP and BSP are having hide and seek, are having love and hate relationship with the BJP now and then. Congress, on the other hand, has won more alliance partners while in opposition. So let us not talk about alliance. TMC was not in alliance, not the part of UPA of late. They have left long. But still, we never know before 2024 who will be on which side. But I think as of now, it is the NDA which has lost alliance partner, not Congress, not UPA. Then, cephalogists and people in media spoke about BJP with Vajpayee ji at the head getting repeated in 2004. but 2004 saw a different government. So let us not rule out anything. I think opposition parties have their own strategies. Opposition parties can only highlight the failures. They can highlight the false promises done to the people of the country. They can highlight
So
where the government has fallen.
So
and
you're
what kind of
saying you
lies
have
they
not
speak to the
given
people
up
of
on
the country. They keep doing.
2024.
And obviously, nobody has given up of 2024. Every election is a serious election. Every state election, every national election is a serious election. We are a political party. Like us, TMC and all other regional parties are political parties. Every party has its politics, and I'm sure that all parties are positioning in the right way for 2024 and also for the different assembly elections.
You know, at the moment, though, the question remains whether they will fully accept the Congress leadership, these opposition parties. But Syed Zafar Islam, I want to come to those X factors. Nasir Hussain mentions 2004 and Vajpayee and how an election that most people thought the BJP had won threw up a very different result. Now, we don't know whether lightning will strike twice, but some of these X factors, slowing economic growth, what will that mean for people? What will it mean for jobs? How will the border row with China play out? There is talk of your building up the momentum for a Ram Mandir. Amit Shah has already announced a date of January 1 where darshan can take place. How is all of this going to play out? Is the BJP at the moment almost certain? Are you all confident that you all are going to win this election come what may, or do you fear some of these X factors could play out in the next 12 to 16 months?
Let me respond to you in detail, Rajdeep. First of all, the opposition bench is a divided horse. It's a divided horse. Do you see their popularity, all the leaders, and put them in one bucket and compare it with the popularity what the Honorable Prime Minister enjoys? You will see the difference, and that makes the differentiating factor between us and them. First of all, Congress party is organizing Bharat Todo Yatra. I think they should look at their own horse, because Congress is in very bad shape. People are living, their senior leaders are leaving Congress party, and it's in bad shape. He should first work on his own party, put together a party which can even think of fighting election with us.
No, are you
Today
saying that Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra has not unnerved you at all? Are you saying that you have, the way BJP leaders respond every day to Rahul Gandhi, it seems as if you want Rahul Gandhi to be the center of it. Are you all in any way affected by the Bharat Jodo Yatra? Let's be clear. The Yatra has shown that Rahul Gandhi has the stamina to take a long Yatra from Kanyakumari to Kashmir.
I think, Rajdeep, this kind of Yatra cannot dent our Honorable Prime Minister's or our party leaders' popularity in the mind of the people of this great country. Because what is the agenda? What is it? He is saying that it is not a political yatra or political purpose. For the political purpose, he is organizing this yatra. Even though it is for political reason, but the support he is not getting from any of the political parties wherever he is going. Even if you just see Maharashtra, Uddhav Thackeray didn't join. Just see
Aditya Thackeray was part of the Yatra. Aditya Thackeray was very much part of the Yatra. You have lost number of allies.
It's not a leader. It's not a leader. Do you think that he is a leader?
Okay.
Who can challenge any political party or any political leader? Aditya Thackeray.
Shiv Sena joined the Yatra.
What is the response he got from See, the message is very clear. Sending Aditya Thackeray means they are not supporting, they want to keep a distance. Just because they are in alliance in Maharashtra, they wanted to show that they are participating, even though his presence, Aditya Thackeray's presence means nothing to anyone.
Okay.
So, see, in Uttar Pradesh Samajwadi Party didn't respond. The Baspa distanced themselves. So where are they getting support? Rahul Gandhi is not getting support even from his own
Rahul
leaders.
Gandhi is not getting support. You are claiming you are not unnerved by this yatra.
He should fix his own party.
You are not unnerved by the yatra. You are also not worried about. You are not worried about slowing economy predictions in the next 12 months. That also doesn't worry you. The border row with China doesn't worry you. None of this worries you. Syed Zafar Islam, don't worry. Be happy.
The global economy is contracting.
So you're putting that on the global economy contracting. China doesn't worry you?
It's not all.
China doesn't worry you?
No.
That you have been economical with the truth on China doesn't worry you?
No external factor, no internal factor.
Okay.
No external factor, no internal factor, because
Can I come in, please?
we have the blessing of the people of this great country.
Okay, you
They
have the blessings
admire
of the
Honorable
people
Prime
of the
Minister. They
country,
have
so no
lot of
internal,
expectations
external
because
factors affect
the
you.
Honorable Prime
Shashi
Minister has
Panja, you
delivered
want a
to
quick
their
final word? Yes, ma'am.
No. If
Are you
BJP
willing
was
to
so
accept the
confident-
leadership of Rahul Gandhi
I
and the
come in?
Congress? Yes or no?
No, Rajdeep ji, I want to say if BJP was so confident, why were they going and derailing elected governments if they're so confident? And it is now very clear what the BJP spokesman said, that it is not the positive vote that they wish to cite. It's not on performance, because they have failed on all their promises. This is more than clear that they have nothing to show
Yeah.
vis-a-vis
Are you
performance.
willing to accept the leadership of the Congress?
It is a joint leadership. As
Okay,
we
it's a
said,
joint leadership.
strategic alliances in every state.
Strategic
Allow
alliance,
every
joint
state.
leadership. Sanjay Kumar, if I look finally from 2019 to 2024, the changes have been in Bihar, you have a new alliance. In Maharashtra, there are new alliances from an opposition perspective. From the BJP's perspective, there seems to be a situation where the opposition still doesn't have a credible narrative to offer. What do you think can change between now and April, May? Next year.
You talked about the two states. Yes, if the alliance in Bihar continues, JDU and RJD, it would certainly damage BJP's electoral prospects compared to 2019. Remember, in 2019, when BJP contested elections in alliance with JDU, they had won 39 out of the 40 seats. In Maharashtra, my own sense is that BJP still has an alliance with Shiv Sena. Go by the number of MLAs which Shinde's camp has. I think this is the real Shiv Sena. Yes, the Uddhav Thackeray Shiv Sena has the legacy, but I don't think they have the mass support. So BJP still continues to
But
enjoy
there are other
the
states
alliance
also,
with Shiv
Sanjay
Sena.
Kumar, like
there's
Karnataka,
people have been
like
talking
Madhya
about
Pradesh. You know, there's a sense that, do you agree that the BJP maxed out in 2019 in large parts of North India, did very well in Karnataka, all of that could change? Is there a possibility that the BJP gets less than 272?
Yes, of course, every possibility.
The possibilities are always there, Rajdeep, but I don't see things changing drastically between 2019 and 2024. Look, in 2014, when BJP won almost all the seats, say in Gujarat, in Rajasthan, all seat in say almost a couple, except a couple of seats in Madhya Pradesh, in Chhattisgarh, and in few other states. We were many people were talking that BJP can't repeat this in 2019. BJP repeated that in 2019. So I don't see that things have changed so drastically that BJP's tally will go down drastically in all these states. Yes, BJP might lose a few seats, but remember, BJP was 303 in 2019 election. They may come down to 270, who knows, 265. But the point I'm trying to say is that BJP will still be the BJP's tally would be 3 times higher than the nearest rival, which is likely to be the Congress.
Okay. That's a big claim that you're making. Even if the BJP comes down, its tally will be, in your view, 3 times higher than that of the nearest opposition party. So, on January 16, I've run out of time, Nasir Bhai, but we are on January 16, 2023. Remember, a week is a long time in politics. We don't know what 16 months will do. But for now, I think we have to accept that Mr. Modi, who is sounding the bugle, is the front runner for a hat trick. I appreciate my guests, though, joining me on the show tonight. Now let's turn to, while we talk politics and elections, let's talk about a critical issue confronting the country's constitutional democracy. A tug-of-war between the centre and the Supreme Court over the appointment of judges. Union Minister Kiran Rijiju has written to the Chief Justice of India, Chandrachud, suggesting the inclusion of a government nominee in the decision-making process for shortlisting of judges. The government's move has triggered a political showdown. The opposition says the government is trying to browbeat the judiciary. Take a look.
It's Narendra Modi government versus the Supreme Court once again. Days after the court's critical comments on delay in appointment of judges, Law Minister Kiran Rijiju has written to the Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud. In a letter dated 6 January, sources say Rijiju has sought the presence of government nominees in the Search cum Evaluation Committee that will provide inputs on suitable candidates to the collegium. The minister adds that in the case of appointment of High Court judges, nominees of state governments should also be included in the panel. The minister's letter has set off a political showdown, with the opposition attacking the BJP for violating the constitution. Minister Rijiju hit back at the opposition, saying his letter was in accordance with Supreme Court's verdict that struck down the National Judicial Appointments Commission Act. The Supreme Court in November and again in December had pulled up the government for this stand, pointing out that only 2 judges in a separate opinion had given the suggestion for a relook. The clear verdict has been to implement the Memorandum of Procedure finalized in 2017. Meanwhile, over 300 vacancies remain in the High Courts and 5 in the Apex Court itself. The opposition is calling the government's intervention a sinister move.
First and foremost, why this concerted, coordinated, sudden action? That question is not answered by anybody. Why suddenly this thing? It's been years since the NJAC judgment. Nothing has happened about the basic structure for decades. Suddenly, why? This hints at a much larger purpose, a control freak purpose, a imposition, dictatorial approach purpose.
The legal fraternity is also unhappy.
The recent communication which has come in the public domain from the Law Minister doesn't appear to be a well understood of the legal position. Either he has not read the judgment, or he's not understood the judgment, or he's being advised wrongly, because clearly the judgment does not entitle the government to ask for amending the collegium itself.
The collegium safeguards the independence of the judiciary. Now, that was sought to be undone by a constitutional amendment by this government. That constitutional amendment was struck down. This also goes against the theory of separation of powers. Can you imagine the law minister then writing, saying that, on all matters where the government is involved, why don't you please seat us on the bench itself?
The law minister's letter has only escalated the face-off between the judiciary and the executive over appointments. With Anisha Mathur in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
So what should be the judiciary's response to the latest missive from the centre on the collegium system of appointing judges? Joining me now is one of our distinguished former Supreme Court judges, Justice Madan Lokul joins me. Appreciate your joining us, Justice. How do you see what Kiran Rijiju, the law minister, has done in writing officially to the Chief Justice, suggesting that a government representative be included as part of the collegium system for selecting Supreme Court and High Court judges?
Thank you, Rajdeep. You see, it's like this. The contents of the letter are not in the public domain. At least I'm not aware of the contents of the letter. There just seems to be, a suggestion that a representative of the government should be in the collegium, right?
Yes.
Now, in the collegium means what? As a part of the collegium, as somebody who takes a decision. So, if 5 judges in the collegium or 3 judges in the collegium say yes, is this person entitled to say no, or is he just there, to watch the proceedings? I don't know. And what is the role of that person going to be? Because everything that the government wants to say, or the Department of Justice wants to say, is already there with the Supreme Court. So what is that person going to do? I mean, is he just going to carry the file and give it to the Supreme Court and say, well, here's the file, take it? What is the role of that person? It's not very clear.
It seems at the moment, as you're right, that we don't know exactly how the government sees the role of this representative, but it seems that the government wants a say. They believe that the system cannot be as opaque and non-transparent as it is, and in fact the Constitution bench itself during the NJC judgment had made it very clear that there should be some reform in the Memorandum of Procedure. So as a first step, the government must have a say. It doesn't mean a veto, but it means a say.
Well, the government already has a say. The file comes from the government. You know, so the government has a say, the chief minister of the state has a say, the governor of the state has a say. So there's no question about it. The government does have a say. So what more of a say does it want? And the say that the government has is even post the decision of the or the recommendation of the collegium, because then the government says, well, you know, we're not going to appoint this guy, or we are going to, you know, sit over the file and take our own sweet time and let that person wait for another year or 2 years. They've done that. So what is the greater say that they want? That is one.
Yes.
You know, secondly, in the NJAC judgment, at the end of it, we did say, the Supreme Court did say that, you know, invite suggestions. And if I remember correctly, something like 11,000 plus suggestions were given, right, from the general public. There was, you know, a request for an extension of time to make suggestions. That was also given. The government was asked, the government said, in fact, they said that, listen, the memorandum of procedure has to be drafted by us. In the past, it was drafted by the government. And this time also it is going to be drafted by the government. It can't be drafted by the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said, yes, okay, fine. Draft the memorandum of procedure. The government just sent the same 1999 memorandum of procedure back. They didn't do anything. What transparency are they talking about? What has happened to all those suggestions?
No, the transparency, Justice, is the idea that you don't have any other country where judges appoint their own without any, according to the government of the day, any oversight, the necessary oversight. They are appointing their own. The government believes that must change. Do you believe that the collegium system must be reformed or not?
There must be some changes. But tell me, is there any country in the world where the government says that we are not going to appoint a judge for 2 years or 5 years? Is there any country in the world? I mean, what is this? You know, India is the only country which does this. Yeah, all right. Government of India is also the only government which does what it's doing. So really, I mean, there's no point in, you know, back and forth kind of thing.
So what you're saying is that the government in a way is already exercising some kind of veto power over judges. Several judges' appointments have been held up, and therefore the government doesn't have the moral right today to, in a way, admonish the judiciary. The government also needs to look within.
Absolutely. In fact, in my view, the government is far more opaque than the collegium. We don't know any reason why somebody has had to wait for 3 years or 4 years. Everybody's just speculating. You know, why is this person's appointment not come through? Why has this person, you know, being asked to wait? Why is it that some person has been, the appointment has been cleared within 2 days and somebody not cleared for 2 years?
But that
is opacity.
But is this a turf war at the end of the day? Are you fearing now that what we are seeing is the beginning of a turf war? That the government in its own way is slowly but surely trying to browbeat the judiciary to fall in line by establishing its supremacy even over the appointment. Is that the fear that judges have?
Well, I don't know about the fear that the judges have. I don't have any fear that the government is doing this. I am convinced that the government is wanting to appoint judges of their own choice.
You mean virtually sidestep the judiciary? Is that what you're saying? Your fear is that the entire system, they want to change the entire system. That they can do by going to parliament and bringing in a new legislation.
Well, I don't think so. You know, it depends upon the sort of amendment or the legislation that they want. Because if it is going to compromise the independence of the judiciary will strike it down. Because the independence of the judiciary is a basic feature of the Constitution of India. You can't compromise the independence of the judiciary.
No, but
so there's no way they can do it without it being struck down.
But it's interesting you're saying that, because you will recall that only last week, the Vice President of the country, no less, questioned the very basis of the basic structure doctrine of the Constitution, suggested that the primacy exists with Parliament. Parliament can decide on all these contentious issues. So it almost seems at the moment that there is a concerted view within the government that things have to change, that you cannot have the existing collegium system and the government will assert its primacy.
Well, it depends. I mean, can Parliament abolish all our fundamental rights? Is that what is being said? That Parliament has the power to amend the Constitution in whatever manner it likes? Basic structure is wrong, so from tomorrow there will be no freedom of the press. There will be no freedom of speech. There will be no freedom to, protest. If the Parliament can do that, well, you know where we are going.
So what would be your advice to the government at this moment, given the fact, and the judiciary? What would be, should they both back off and try and strike some kind of a dialogue, not in public gaze, where you have the law minister on a regular basis almost targeting the judiciary? Can this be done behind closed doors?
It should be. I mean, you see, in the last couple of weeks, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, the government has been taking pot shots at the judiciary. Right? Why? I mean, the Supreme Court is a constitutional body. Why can't the government talk to the Supreme Court and say that, listen, we'd like to discuss a few things. The Supreme Court has never said that, listen, I'm not going to talk to you. You stay where you are, I'm going to stay where I am. In fact, the Supreme Court said, like I said in the NJC judgment, the Supreme Court invited suggestions from the public. So the Supreme Court is always open to, discussion. That's how the system works in India. I mean, you go to court and say whatever you want. You argue your case.
So
nobody has stopped the government from doing that.
So in conclusion, what you're saying is you don't think that the judiciary is averse to changes in the existing collegium system, but it will have to be done by a spirit of consensus, not by one side browbeating the other. Am I correct?
Yes, this is what my impression is. I can't say for sure, but my impression is that the collegium system, the Supreme Court is willing to have a look at it. It was willing to have a look at it when it gave the NJC judgment. I don't see why it should not be willing to have a look at it now. Bring about some changes. It requires tweaking. It requires tweaking on the side of the government also. Is the government open to making changes? Let's find that out first.
Do you therefore see, unfortunately, this confrontation widening, and what will be the implications in a sense for our constitutional democracy if the government is seen to be browbeating the judiciary?
Well, it's not good news, if the government continues to take pot shots. The government, I think, is a responsible government. They should know, or at least the persons who are in charge should know, that you can't take pot shots at the judiciary. Don't do it. I mean, what are you doing it for? If you want your own people, well, say so. I want my own people. I'm not going to let independent judges, survive in this country.
So you believe that what is happening will compromise the independence of the judiciary. You fear that this is part of a concerted attempt eventually to compromise the independence of the judiciary.
I think so. I think they're trying to have a committed judiciary, something which Mrs. Indira Gandhi had tried. I think they're trying to do that. I hope they don't succeed.
And what
Mrs.
should
Indira Gandhi did not. I hope the present government doesn't succeed either.
And what should the judges do? What would be your advice to the judges led by Chief Justice Chandrachud? How should they respond?
I don't know. I can't say, but the appropriate thing would be to call, at least a meeting of the collegium, if not the full court, and take them into confidence and say that, well, what's going on? I mean, everybody would like to know. The whole country wants to know. So I'm sure the Supreme Court judges also want to know what's going on.
On that note, Justice Lokur, for doing plain speaking on this contentious issue, appreciate your joining us. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Rajdeep.
Committed judiciary, is that what we are heading towards? Let's take a break. After that, our Get Real India story. Tonight from Chhattisgarh, where locals have to walk almost 50 to 70 kilometers twice a month for their basic essentials. We'll tell you more. You're watching the news today. News without the noise.
You're watching an India Today special broadcast being brought to you from the stunning ski resort of Klosters, Davos.
The 53rd World Economic Forum is back at the snow-clad slopes of Davos. The smartest minds gather to debate the world's biggest challenges: energy crisis, industry headwinds, geopolitical risks, social vulnerabilities. India Today and Business Today are at ground zero to bring you all the action. Catch top corporate tycoons, politicians and intellectuals as they discuss cooperation in a fragmented world. Watch the Davos brainstorm only on India Today and Business Today TV.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
Tonight's Get Real India story now comes from Chhattisgarh, where in many villages, normal life, as most urbanites are used to, is still a distant dream for many tribal areas. Living in these areas, villagers often walk up to 70 kilometers twice a month just to get their ration. Our reporter Sumi Rajappan spent a few days with them recently. Here's her report.
Spread over 6,000 square kilometers, villages in and around Abujmad have bore the brunt of Naxalism.
विकास की बहुत सारी गाथाएं गाई जाती हैं और विकास लेकिन कहीं कहीं पर पहुंच भी नहीं पाता है। उन्हीं में से एक जगह है हरीमरका, जो अबूझमाड़ में आता है। इनफैक्ट अबूझमाड़ की ऐसी जंगल में आता है जहां पे विकास आज भी नहीं पहुंचा, साफ पानी नहीं पहुंचा।
Walking 20 to 80 kilometers to fetch basic supplies for the month is a necessity for them. Tuman and family begin walking early in the morning to go to the public distribution center set up in a distant village. They take hours to reach there. The journey back home with 70 kilos of rice mounted on a dilapidated bicycle is far from easy.
पहाड़ तो है, चढ़ना पड़ता है, उतरना पड़ता है, नदी नालों सबको पार करना पड़ता है।
This group came from Ghamandi, 25 kilometers from Sonpur in Narayanpur district. After their long journey, they found, to their dismay, the shop is closed. It would take them another 7 hours to walk back home.
5 घंटा लगभग गमेंडी सोनपुर पूरा दूर में पूरा दायना जंगल भूमि मेटा गुट्टा अंजी पूरा जंगल तुन वासी सोनपुर 5 घंटा लगभग आई था।
Many who come bring their local agricultural produce, sell it in the market during the day and stay the night before walking back. The district administration says lack of security and roads are two reasons why they are not able to take supplies to villagers.
The revenue survey has been going on since 2017, but it was not being completed on time. We got a special permission from the state government that pending the actual revenue survey, we can start connecting people to their benefits, the benefits that are being given by government departments. This is called Masahati Khasra.
The lack of internet connectivity is also a stumbling block in implementing the central government schemes.
Orcha in Abujmar. Abujmar is again the mystery of in fact the hill with mysteries, and certainly these anecdotes and these stories speak volumes about the failed system and the failed administration of the respective governments that have come and gone.
With Sumi in Chhattisgarh, Bureau Report, India Today.
Some parts of the country still falling off the map. Let's leave you though with our image of the day today. The mercury dropping significantly in several parts of the country. Even Mumbai this morning woke up to just 13 degrees. But if you were in Himachal and Uttarakhand, you witnessed snowfall. And if you were in Delhi too, you needed all the winter wear you have. Chilly morning, minimum temperature dropping to 1.5 degrees Celsius in the national capital, the lowest so far this season. Wherever you are in the country, stay well, stay safe, stay warm. Good night, Shubhratri, Jai Hind, Namaskar.
प्यारी बातों में अनजाना इकरार है, कहो ना प्यार है, कहो ना प्यार है.
He made his acting debut in 2000 and is now one of the finest actors in the industry. Well, she started off and has been making the cut since 2008.
Why are you asking me so many questions? तुम्हें क्या लगता है? लड़कियां सिर्फ अफेयर करने के लिए होती हैं?
He's from Amchi, Mumbai. She, on the other hand, was born in Delhi to a Punjabi father and a Kashmiri mother. Both come from different backgrounds, one insider, other one an outsider with a 10-year age gap. But when love strikes, it knows no boundaries, and that's exactly what Hrithik Roshan and Sabaa Azad's love story is all about. That's right. Interestingly, the duo met in the most Gen Z way possible. In fact, just like how Priyanka Chopra and Nick Jonas did. Sweet but almost unthinkable. Yes. Sabaa slipped into Hrithik's DMs to thank him for his sweet gesture after Hrithik had shared one of Sabaa's musical collaboration to praise her.
Powered by Samsonite. Tested like Samsonite. Volkswagen Tiguan, India's safest SUVW. LIC, हर पल आपके साथ. Pakistan Prime Minister's big confession. Embarrassed at begging for funds.
ये मिसाइल आप जानते हैं, आप मुझे हमें $1 अरब और दे दें. I feel very embarrassed कि मैं आपसे हर दफा आता कोई और आता है तो आप कहते तो नहीं, लेकिन दिल के अंदर तो आप समझते होंगे ये पैसे मांगने आ गए हैं.
A nuclear weapon state begs to stay afloat.
ये पाकिस्तान एक मिसाल इसकी ये है कि एक हाथ में हमारे एक न्यूक्लियर ताकत है और दूसरे हाथ में कशकोल. ये आग और पानी का ये कब तक ये मिलाप हो नहीं सकता, कब तक चलेगा?
Desperate Pakistan scrambles for food. Yet Pakistan deep state spreads terror in India. Two suspected terrorists held reveal Pakistan ISI terror plot.
स्पेशल सेल की टीम ने 2 टेररिस्ट पकड़े.
Embarrassed to beg, not ashamed of being terror state? Terroristan turns Begaristan. That's our top focus on India First.
It's actually a very dangerous situation. Pakistan is a nuclear weapons state and it's begging just to remain afloat. There is firing on the streets for a bag of flour. There is shortage of medicines. Foreign exchange reserves are dwindling. By some accounts, barely enough for 3 weeks of imports. Can this trigger